Welcome back to Mkegadgets. So quite often, friends and family give me broken things, either to fix or they know I just like to take them apart. Well, today is no different. I got a curling iron here. Doesn't work. I was thinking, how fun would this be to see how it works? Got 2 Phillips screws in there. I always like to save the cords. I'm always interested in how the swivel mechanism works, because you can swivel this and it doesn't get tangled or wound up. You got some steel parts here. So I'm going to take this apart and recycle it and see how much I can save and see how much really gets into the garbage. I'm hoping to save all the plastic. There's got to be some kind of computer board in here, because everything does. I'll put the steel parts into my metal recycling bucket, and I'm going to do this by weight. So let's get a baseline here, and it's 8.4 ounces. So let's see how many ounces actually go to the landfill and how many ounces get recycled. First, let's just unwind the cord. I don't know if this plastic tip comes off. Maybe it'll come off later. Let's take off this little bracket, just so it doesn't touch anything hot. Let's pull that off. And look at it, we got 2 Phillips there. Let's see if we can break them loose. And now here, another Phillips. And that's for that spring. And the spring's off and a little clip. All right. Let's try these little Phillips screws. I'm thinking this case should split. I'm gonna put some safety glasses on here because I'm gonna have to pry this apart, and I don't want any little pieces flying. So I got a putty knife here with a pretty pointy. Looks like this switch band has to come off. I don't know how that's on. I'm not going to repair it, I'm just taking it apart. So I'll cut that off. And we'll go in there with the putty knife. And there we go. Got it split. And it feels like this piece should slide off. We'll go in there with the putty knife again. I'm gonna get a bigger screwdriver. I got a wider screwdriver going here. See if we can pop this off. Sometimes they're glued on. Okay, that pops off. Let's go back to splitting this apart, and look at that, here we go. So we got a circuit board in there, a couple of LEDs, a rheostat. And look at this, the swivel part kind of looks like an RCA jack on the back of an old stereo receiver. Plastic. Here's the circuit board. And there's small Phillips. See if I can get this rest of this handle off. There's small Phillips. And I'm thinking, you can see this mold mark. You can see the mold mark here. If I can split this apart, hopefully it's not welded together. Might be. I'll go in there with a Phillips and a hammer. See if I can handle those two. See if I can hammer those two pieces apart. It's not splitting there. Separate the board there. You can see that seam there. It was made in two pieces. Look in the tip, and there's another small Phillips screw. Maybe this will help us. Over to the vise. You can see this molding seam is real tight, and I can't pry it apart. So I think this was molded. I think this part was over molded. The tube was stuck into a molding machine and the plastic was injected on it. So we're at the vise. We just got to break it apart. Oh yeah. That didn't take much. That was pretty brittle. Broke clean around the tube. Let's see if we can pull out the heating element. Looks like, I don't know if the heating element's on this end piece, but let's try pulling out by the wires. This probably is not going to work, but let's try it anyways. Hey, I got part of it out. Looks like there's two tubes of the heating element still in there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them out with a, I'll try a pliers. So I'm going to see if I can grab it with the pliers. And no, I'm just tearing it apart. Well, I'm not going to save this tube. Let's just crush it and see what happens. I got a threaded rod. See if I can stick that in there. All right, cap came off. Pull out our threaded rod. And the heating element's still in there. Well, I'm just gonna leave that in there. Looks like a piece of steel with two heating elements on it. Let's go back to the workbench and see what we got. So here's the heating element that I did get out, and I cut little pieces of tape on there, and you unfold it, and there's a wire in here with, I don't know what this is, transistor, a diode or something. So I'm gonna put this in the steel pile. So here's all the parts broken apart, taken apart. And let's start weighing them and see how much we're going to save and how much we're going to recycle. The electrical cord is something I always use, and this is a 5-footer. And in future projects, you'll probably see me make something out of this. And that comes in at 2 ounces. Now remember, our total was 8.4. Here's our electronics board. 0.4 ounces. Now this will be saved. I got a 5-gallon bucket. I put computer parts, the electronic boards in there. These are very recyclable. And now all the plastic pieces. And that's 2.2 ounces. And that's all the steel pieces, and that's 4 ounces. So the real winner here is steel with 4 ounces, the cord with 2 ounces, and only 2.2 ounces are really going to go to landfill. I don't see the logo on there for recycling. So this is a fun little project. A lot of people ask me, how do I know how to fix things and why am I so handy? Well, when I was a kid, I started taking things apart. And if you have kids and you want to take things apart, curling irons, small appliances, if you have a broken toaster, take it apart, see what broke on it. And when you buy your new toaster, try to buy one that doesn't have that feature on it. Maybe it'll last a little bit longer. In today's society, people just throw it right in the garbage. Well, I like to take it apart, get the cord off of it, some steel off of it. Sometimes there's things I can use, screws, springs, and other parts. You'd be surprised. This is a lot of fun for kids because I think they would enjoy it. You don't need a lot of tools, a screwdriver, pliers, maybe a hammer. So this is Mkegadgets. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this with your friends and hit the subscribe button. I appreciate your support. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.